how would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself, my own head, the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Well, a big Shazam to you people. I'm going to call today Monday. I think we've got another whistleblower. Maybe another whistleblower. This is wild, but we're starting right now. Next, breaking news. Dun, dun, dun. Governor Justin Trudeau of the 51st state of Canada has resigned. Curly Bill, go.
Well, bye.
All right, first Monday of the year, and we've got another whistleblower, maybe, possibly, probably, and it's the first day back to work for a lot of y'all, and it's January 6th, a wild one. In this episode, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this whistleblower. I'm going to read you her entire missive that she has published online, and stay with me, I got a ton of memes for you. We're going to deal with the nonsense over the weekend, and it was a wild, wild weekend. Over the weekend, I also produced a video that I rarely do, a format in that I did long form, and I rarely do that, rarely if ever, 30-something minutes on the Cybertruck explosions, special episode, cover-ups, lies, and aliens. I believe that it is likely or possible that Matthew Livelsberger, they call him Matthew Berg, but Livelsberger may be alive, that it was an op that he created, and that he is essentially, and I don't use just, I'm not belittling him by saying just, because people are like, what is he? Is he this? Is he that? Is he, oh my gosh, it's so many different options. I'm saying he's just a whistleblower. Big. I'm not diminishing him. I'm just saying that is the essence of what he is. When you boil down what he is, it's a very narrow focus. He's a whistleblower. I believe that it looks like that may be true. There's still a lot of questions about that. If you want to go back and watch that video, you can. A bunch of y'all, thank y'all. A bunch of y'all hollered at me on Saturday and Sunday to say thank you for that video, that you loved it. A lot of guys said it was the best video I've ever made. What? Me rattling about aliens? Holy smokes. But I went back and watched it yesterday. There's a lot of interesting stuff in there, my opinion, some super... because it was me talking. It's got to be interesting. There's some alien stuff in there and UAPs, and we're going to get into that a little bit again today. Holy smokes. All right, here she is, Michaela, I don't know how to say her last name, Fachar? I don't want to say it. Michaela F., this is straight from her Twitter account. U.S.-China subject matter expert, national security, U.S. Air Force veteran, and works for the U.S. government and lives at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, but just joined X in August of 2024. That's odd. I found her on Facebook as well. I'm going to blur his face out. He didn't ask to be a part of this. She's very public, but whatever that gentleman that she's with there. And then I also found her on LinkedIn, Michaela F., National Security and Foreign Policy, lives in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And on her LinkedIn, it says that she is fluent in Chinese, Mandarin, I believe, a little Mandarin action. That's interesting. How about that? So she went public, I think this morning is the first time I saw it. I don't have the date in front of me. I'm going to read you her entire missive. I think it's right to get this in her own words. We are dealing again with cover-ups and lies and aliens, maybe? And when you say aliens, just to be really clear, I talked about it a little over the weekend. I'm not talking about little men from outer space that came from somewhere else. I'm talking about another race of people maybe that live on this planet or interdimensional travel. I don't know. Put on your tinfoil hat on that one. All right, let's get to her Michaela F's missive. Here's what she said. Work with me. I'm going to do it. Keep it in her own words. I'm blowing the whistle. I'm done listening to this. My name is Michaela F. I am a U.S. Air Force veteran, 1NO, all-source analyst. From October 20 to 21, I was deployed to the CENTCOM Air Operations Center in Qatar. I was an E4 at the time, and my job was to process mission reports from pilots conducting sorties within CENTCOM theater. My job was to report on daily significant activity reports and publish graphic intel summaries to all air units in CENTCOM. Task forces reported a ton of UAP activity. Pause right there. They used to be called UFOs. This is now called unidentified aerial phenomenon. The federal government switched the name of that a couple years ago. I have opinions on why they did that. UAP, unknown craft or unidentified craft. Unpause. Task forces reported a ton of UAP activity, but because we had no framework of reporting those requirements, we didn't. There is evidence of all of this on Kessel Run, the database that we process these reports on. From October 20 to around January 21, I worked night shift at a time when very few people worked. As I was reporting on events, news came of blue on blue fratricide. While I was compiling the reporting, a CIA officer came out of his room and tapped me on the shoulder. He told me not to report on it. We had other blue on blue events, and we received orders to not report on those events due to the potential for diplomatic scandals. I live on Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I am still in the Individual Ready Reserve, the IRR. I have reached out to Jeremy, Sarah Adams, Sean Ryan, and Shu separately, but have not received word from you. Pause. I think when she says Shu right there, that's Shoemate, the guy from the Sean Ryan podcast from last, I think, Thursday or Friday, whenever that was. Unpause. I want to testify to Representative Tim Burchett because I am concerned about the Biden admin and our national security apparatus. They lack a fundamental understanding of the national security picture with China, and they are ramping us up for war. I believe that what I witnessed can corroborate the concerns with Matt Livelsberger addressed in his email manifesto. I am not under duress or hostile influence or control, meaning I am testifying under circumstances of guilt and conscience of my decision to not report on these things earlier. I believe that Berg is still alive because of the tradecraft he carried on the raw Tesla footage that we saw. I also believe that he was intentional in all of his actions, and while hurried, he displayed elite tradecraft in conveying what needed to be conveyed. I don't know if this message will get me arrested, nor do I care. I want you to operate with the assumption that Berg is waiting for people to accept that he is alive and wants to testify before President Donald Trump. If you need my credentials as proof, I have previously sent them to Sean Ryan and Jeremy. Michaela, January 5th, 2025, 10:43 p.m. So this was last night. Whew, there's a lot in there. Upcoming war with China, UAP activity, CIA cover-ups, blue on blue fratricide, and all sorts of nonsense. Coming out of where? Coming out of where? Fort Bragg once again, back on the menu. A lot of folks have been chasing the Fort Bragg thing over the last couple weeks, but you got to keep in mind, my understanding is Fort Bragg's really, really big. There's a lot that goes on there. So if somebody is coming out of the Army and or is whistleblowing within the Army, chances are they were at Fort Bragg recently or had been stationed there in the past or current. I reached out to my source, the source I talked to you about over the weekend, and he is, I'm going to use the words again, positioned to know. He'll watch this today. What's up, man? And he said some things that in her email that just didn't seem 100% right. Why, if she has that rank, is she living on Fort Bragg? Why is doesn't she have an apartment off base? Apparently they are cheap in Fayetteville, and apparently you are not under DOD control if you're off base. That was interesting. But there was a couple little things because he speaks that language that didn't seem 100% right. I don't know. We got another whistleblower, folks, and Jared said today in a text thread that I was in, he goes, the veil of secrecy may be lifting. That's interesting. How about that? I don't know. I do know that I'm going to keep paying attention to it, and one of the great things about me having my own voice, a little bit of voice here, is I can talk about things that I find that are interesting, important, that need to be talked about. When I know more, you'll know more. That's a wild one, is it not? Another whistleblower coming out of Fort Bragg, UAPs. I am having to keep going at this point because I want to talk about aliens, and I want to talk about UAPs, and I want to talk about little gray men, not green, but little gray men that are that come from other dimensions. We'll leave it at that. I haven't lost my mind. I think it's super interesting. All right, we're going to the memes. Got all sorts of stuff going on. Next, Dom says this. What do you notice about the people Joe Biden gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to over the weekend? What do you notice? Put them all together. What do you see? Check this out next. One of the responses to that thread says, what do they all have in common? Well, what do they have in common last time? They are all on the pizza list, and most of them have been to the island. They are peeing down our leg and telling us it's raining. It's unbelievable. Next, I had my subpoenaed cell phone smashed with a hammer and my subpoenaed laptop bleached. My husband flew 26 times to Epstein's Pedo Island and still not one indictment. Next, you can do it, Joe. Just choke her with it and pardon yourself. That's funny. Next, nope, I ain't touching this one today. This is the prize that the 0.1% are truly fighting for. That's the pine cone. I ain't touching that either. Why is the Pope holding one? I ain't touching that at all. Nope, not today. Next, they all worship the devil. Get some. It's kind of funny. Next, they are all fake. Look, murderer. Allegedly. Next, this is why we have AI right there. That's funny. Next, I made this meme. He did Magic Johnson the other day and kind of reminded me of Yoda taking a ride. That's good. Next, boo. One of y'all sent this. My name's Carol. Really? Mine too. I'm also Carol. Me too. Hi, I'm Carol. Sweet Caroline. Boo, boo, boo. Next, Cole says, I was too shy to get a pic with him, but I saw Elon Musk tonight. Next, it is better to have eaten something and thrown it up and then eaten it again than to have never eaten it at all. Unknown wise boy. Who's a good boy? Next, Katie says this, as a therapist, I can say confidently that while therapy is helpful, what most people really need is money. Yep. Next, Charlie Kirk posted this last night. Dear Michelle Obama, the time has come for the truth to be revealed. Stay tuned. I don't know what that means, but Geico Camel, go.
Mike.
All right, next. Jerry, it's been a rough year. It's the first week in January. Kramer? Any of y'all already feel that? Next. When you stay up until 6 a.m. and look outside. Daylight. Some of y'all don't get that reference. I do. Next. Pentagon to rename Fort Bragg as Fort Death to America. Next. Robber breaks into my house assuming I'm asleep. Me. Eating my Lucky Charms at 3 a.m. What are you doing? Just hanging around. Next. Stressed out Peppy the Frog. When you start reading about gravitic propulsion systems and now you're down a rabbit hole learning about 5D Anunnaki intergalactic servants of the Ra, the sun god who built Atlantis. I know all of those words. I was hanging out with guys the other night and somebody went, hey, Johnny, what are those tall beings? I went, Anunnaki. I didn't even pause. The Anunnaki. Next. Today is a good day to remind people about Benghazi as Hillary Clinton gets a medal. Never forget. Hillary Clinton, Benghazi. Next. Let me out, mother. I crave violence. Oh, there ain't nothing better than a hissing possum. Next, in this house, we believe the news is propaganda, the state is organized crime, taxation is theft, socialism is the gospel of envy, and all gun laws are an infringement. Liberty is everything. American flag, shotgun guy, go. Get some. All right, next, give up your pot to stop drug violence. But I don't commit violence, dude. Welcome to the gun debate. Next. I never even considered Dr. Pepper could be a woman. Maybe I'm a bad person. Wait, what? Dr. Pepper could be a lady. Who knows? Could be. Next. Breaking news. Dun, dun, dun. Extreme cold takes hold across Chicago, delaying hundreds of weekend shootings. Next. Gunslap's great account says, how my wife reacts when she sees what a gun actually cost instead of what I told her it cost. Oh, fellas, be safe out there. Next, Not the Bee says Democrat strategist James Carville thinks recent terror attacks can be attributed to frustrated incels. Mindy says he would know. Oh, get some. Holy smokes. Don't Google it. Some of y'all don't know that word. Don't Google it. Next. I have never in my life tried to pronounce an L so hard that when I just asked the Home Depot guy where I could get some caulk. Some caulk. Does it come in brown? Next, the guy who abandoned our people in Afghanistan awarding the lady who abandoned our people in Benghazi. Satan. Next, gun policy. FPC says when the jackboots are trying to take your guns, but you're just a chill guy. You're just a chill guy. I'm chill. Next, this is real. Republicans, can we at least deport all the 158 Democrats? Nope. Nope. Next, everything is fake and gay. Pretty much. Two more. Next, ooh la la. Name one thing you want to try in the bedroom. Ooh la la. How about getting a full 8 hours of sleep? That'd be awesome. I'm glad you were here. First Monday of the year, January 6th. We're going to be around. I'm going to be here all week long. We're going to have a big week on this channel this week. Stay tuned. It's going to be wild. Thanks for being a part. Give me a thumbs up. I forgot to say that earlier. Also, I forgot my advertiser for the day. I'm leaving it. I'm going to be broke. Thank y'all. Next, finally, the lectern guy. Yes, that lectern guy says this. For this photo, they gave me 75 days in federal prison, a $5,000 fine, 200 hours of community service, and 1 year of supervised release. But what I took from them was their pride. I'd take that deal every day. Happy Patriots Day. All together now, American flag, shotgun guy, go. Get some.
Back me up, go all in, by Joe Biden. I gotta win, save the country from sin. I won't never slack up, get your money back up. Try and cuss my voter and your bounty gets smacked up. Get up, stand up, throw your MAGA hats up. If you got the feeling, Kamala's unappealing. Trump's got...
This gun fits my hand better than this one does.
Diabetes.